Hey there, David Gordon from TheaterMania here. It is Monday, August 17th. The summer is flying by, and I'm here with the great Marilu Henner, who is coming to us live from Vancouver.
Yes. Oh, beautiful Vancouver. Beautiful Vancouver. Sunny today. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Still snow-capped mountains in the distance. I mean, this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous city. I'm actually in Burnaby, a suburb of Vancouver, and it has a fabulous park called Central Park. So I go walking there every day, and it's just magnificent. Everybody's got masks. Everybody's social distancing. Everybody's being careful. Tons of, sanitizer everywhere in the whole city, and feel safe.
That's good. I'm glad. What are you working on?
Well, I just finished this 14th movie for the Aurora Tea Garden series that I do on Hallmark.
Right.
Starring Candace Cameron Bure, and I play her mom, and the two of us are in all these adventures and things together. We've been in all the movies. And we came up here and we decided to quarantine together, which has been so much fun. And then we just stayed on through the quarantine and then through the shooting. And then she is doing a Christmas movie, her big Christmas movie that she does every year. And I'm actually starting to shoot a Lifetime film because in the meantime, I got another job. So, yeah. So we're going to Victoria, actually, both of us. It's just a total coincidence.
What was the shooting process like with the COVID restrictions and everything?
Well, it's interesting. First of all, there were a lot of rules, and they really expected us to take a few more days to shoot because of all the rules, but we didn't. We totally came in on time and budget and everything else. There are protocols definitely in place. Every day they took our temperature. We had to sign a release saying that we hadn't been exposed in the 24 hours since we last signed the release or over the weekend. And everybody wore masks. The first time we ran through the scenes, we all had masks for camera blocking. And then it was only until we shot that we took the masks off. And sometimes the rehearsal right before the shooting, because so that the camera, the cinematographer could see what the light was like on our faces and things. But then they gave they gave everyone a break after about 2 hours so that they could go outside and they could all, breathe a little bit and take their masks off and social distance and everything else. So, yeah.
Was it scary, or did you feel completely safe doing that?
Well, I think in BC, there's a 1 in 180,000 chance that you can get it. And I'm on my way to Victoria, and there's one case. That's it. So, yeah, I feel pretty safe.
I feel like you're in the perfect place for it.
I know. It's so funny. I said to my sister the other day, I said, I was home for 3.5 months, and we were so careful. I think I went out like 5 times altogether, masked, the senior hours at Whole Foods. We were all super careful. I was cleaning and laundry and cooking and scrubbing grout and, and all that. And so I came here and I thought, oh, this is kind of like fun and easy. And that's right. I'm an actress. And so I said, no, I have to go back, and it's going to be, and she said, I know, you're Persephone. And my husband Michael went, I missed you. You saw Hadestown.
Of course. I see you're as big a Hadestown fan as we are.
Oh, I saw it twice. I saw it in previews, and then I couldn't wait to take, and I had tickets to go again, but I'll go back. That was so brilliant. I love all of them. They were unbelievable. Just unbelievable, all of them.
So we last spoke when you were getting the band back together.
Yes.
You probably remember the date.
I do. It was July 17th. It was a Tuesday, July 17th of 2018. And we went to Un, Deux, Trois because I was right next door to rehearsal. Yeah.
That show was fun.
So much fun. So much fun to do. I'm still rocking a little rocker look. I still like this. This is my good luck band. Yeah.
You guys looked like you had a ball doing it too.
So much fun. We had, Ken Davenport's a genius. I mean, I don't know if you have to, everyone should follow Ken Davenport because he's amazing and he's so forward thinking, and it was a special experience, but I hope I get to work with him again. And a lot of those people, I made lifelong friends, and, it was really a special thing. We didn't get to stay open very long because that damn network had to come in to the but it was a great experience.
So it goes.
I'm sorry, what?
So it goes.
Yeah, so it goes. It's so
yeah.
While it's there, because who knows when you're going to have it again, or who knows what's going to happen with anything.
I know. Do you miss theater now? But do you miss theater when you're not doing it?
Oh, definitely. It's really my first love. You know, I grew up singing and dancing and doing shows with my family and recitals, and I was always in like school plays. And if I were the president of your club, president of you know, political science and history, you do a history play. You know, vice president of math club, you do a math play. You know, I was always doing shows all through my whole life, and so yeah, I do miss it. And I think that's one of the reasons I love a sitcom so much, is because it's kind of that perfect marriage between stage and film where you use it as a play, you know.
I want to, well, so I'm going to ask you some questions about like shows that you've done both on stage and TV. So I want to start off with Grease, because I feel like not many people know that you were in the original Grease. Original.
I always say I do a one-woman show. In fact, I did it. It's so funny. I did it March 4th at 54 Below, right before this whole thing started. And I said the other day, I said, oh my gosh, I was like Carol Lindley on the Poseidon Adventure, you know, before the boat crashed, before it all went down. I tell the story, the fact that I was 15 years old and I was doing community theater in Chicago, a production of The Boyfriend. And one of the guys who was working in advertising, 10 years older than I was, he called me when I was 17 and he said, I've written the show. It may never get off the ground. We're going to perform it in a converted trolley barn. I want you to be part of it. He always reminded me of one of those girls from Chicago, because I am. And he said, and it's called Grease. So I did it, and it was such a different show. It was 75% book, 25% music. And at the first rehearsal, he had 2 stacks of paper that were about this big, and he passed them out. One was music and one was scenes. And he passed out the scenes and was like, okay, let's read the book report scene. Let's read the polio shot scene. Let's read the rumble scene, the cafeteria scene, the pajama party scene. Yeah, and all the different scenes that some of them made it, some of them didn't. And so I did that. And then the show was going to Broadway, and they asked some of us to come and audition for it. And I thought, I'm going to school, 4 scholarships, University of Chicago, and it's not going to be a hit. You know, it's like, because it was such a Chicago show. But anyway, suffice it to say, long story short, when the national company came up, he called me. I went to New York. I was supposed to be in the library, but my car was parked in front of the library, and I thought, maybe it's a sign from God. Went to the airport, auditioned, and got the job. And in that room, when I walked in the next day, it was Jeff Conaway playing Danny Zuko, Judy Kaye playing Rizzo, Jerry Zaks playing Kanicki, Michael Lembeck playing Sonny, Johnny Travolta playing Duty, and rehearsing with us for the London company was Richard Gere. So, you know.
That's some assortment of people.
Yeah, it was a great group of people to rehearse with.
What was it like to be in Greece? Like when you finally did it in New York and elsewhere, what was it like to be in Greece?
Well, it's so funny because, you know, and it became the show that I went in and out of quite a lot. I'd go do another Broadway show and then I'd come back to Greece. So it was like going on unemployment. You don't go on unemployment, you go back into Greece if you're available. And it was just an incredible experience because so much had changed. You know, it was, I mean, believe it or not, the Chicago company was so much dirtier than the original Broadway company, which is filthy compared to what the subsequent film, you know, the film and the other Broadway incarnations, you know. It was, I remember just feeling like, I can't believe I'm a professional actress and I'm doing a show I love that has been in my life for a while. And, you know, I felt like I knew all the references and could explain it to the other people. And, you know, it was a great experience, really. Yeah.
I feel like you have a fun audition story like that too for Taxi, don't you?
The fun auditions started for me.
Don't you have a fun audition story for Taxi?
Oh, well, I was totally wrong for Taxi. I was completely wrong for Taxi. I was 10 years younger than they wanted. They wanted a 35-year-old Italian New Yorker who had a 16-year-old daughter, because that summer, it was summer of 78, or like fall of 70, or spring of 78. Unmarried Woman and Goodbye Girl were out. So they wanted her to have, they liked the mother-daughter relationship, and they wanted her to be a teenager because it's easier for hours for her to be a teenager. But I was 25 when I auditioned. So, but they kept bringing me back because they kept feeling like, oh, she's got this thing. The casting director, Joel Thurm, love him. He kept saying, I'm telling you, she can hold her own with the guys. You believe her as an art gallery person. she can like hang, that kind of thing. And he thought I was just the right quality. So they kept bringing me back. And, it was like a bittersweet time because my mother was in Chicago and she was basically dying and passed away a couple weeks before I got Taxi. But anyway, so they kept bringing me back. And then I had another job offer of a pilot. It's a too long a story, but anyway, I had another, and there's nothing like having two people want you at the same time. So that they felt like territorial, and that was it. They changed the lane and gave me two little kids instead of one teenage daughter.
What, on the whole, what was your experience doing Taxi like?
Are you kidding me? I love those guys so much. We've done 3 Zooms already, and we're doing another one September 12th because it's the anniversary of when the show first went on the air. Yeah. Every day I planned my outfit, I loved it. I always say we had 112 shows, had 112 parties, even though Wikipedia says 114, 2 of them were retrospective. So but we just, it was just a golden time in all of our lives. We all talk about it as the best job we ever had. And we're truly like a family. I mean, a real family. And that's a great feeling.
I was going to say, so often like people do shows that are on for a long time and then they like go their separate ways. But you guys are always, I remember when Tony Danza did Honeymoon in Vegas on Broadway. And you guys were all there for that. So I just love that you all hang out with each other. It like warms the cockles of my, team heart.
Yeah. And it's funny when we all get together. I mean, you see it on Zoom, who talks the most, they always called me the swizzle stick. Like I was the swizzle stick that stirred the drink. That's what Tony called me. And so I'm kind of talk show host. It's like, oh, tell him this, because I'm so current with everybody. But it's so funny because Tony and Judd, they're the talkers in the group, and then Danny chimes in and Carol chimes in, and then Chris Lloyd. It's like he says something and everybody howls. He's sort of like the cleanup man or whatever. I mean, he always bats 1,000. He's fantastic, all of them.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it when it was on TV? Like, do you watch your stuff?
I usually watched it before. Well, either we were all together watching, or they do screenings for us or something, But when I think about doing it, I think about more not the night it was on, but the night we shot it, more like that.
Yeah, because I'm sure you remember all of that too.
I do. I'm not somebody who shies away from watching myself because I feel like I learn so much. Like, oh, don't ever wear that color again, or oh my gosh, why did your hair didn't, somebody should have looked at, you should have checked a mirror before you walked out, shot outside, or, that moment could have been so much. I always want to redo everything I've ever done. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but I always think like, oh, damn, now I could do it so much better. So.
Do you have a favorite episode?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, totally. Yes. Second season. It was right before we went away for Christmas. We shot it December the 21st of 79. I've told the story before, so that's why the date's right there. But yeah, right there anyway. Okay, so it was called Shut It Down. And it was about the cabbies going on strike. And I'm the shop steward. So Louis, in order to settle the strike, talks me into going on a date with him. And the date is just, well, we got to Tuesday because we got the scripts on Friday after we shot, while we were shooting the show. And then Monday we did the read through. And it was so great that they said, this has to be a 2-parter, but we can't shoot a 2-parter before Christmas. We can't do one before Christmas. So we're going to do it in 1 week. And they said, well, Danny and Marilu, they're very dedicated to their lines and stuff like that. Anyway, we shot it and it was so much fun. And my negotiation scene with Danny to go on the date is still my favorite thing in all of Taxi. And, it's so funny. It's so funny.
And it still holds up.
Pardon me? Oh, yeah.
It's so great.
You know why I think it holds up? First of all, the 70s were such an interesting time. 70s and early 80s were such an interesting time. And it's not like the clothes were like too crazy. Jim Ignatowski, Reverend Jim's jean jacket with the peace sign, would be like, forget about it. You buy it now, And I don't know. I think there's something about the look was so gritty and realistic. So I don't think it's changed that much in a way, I don't know. But the writing's so good. The writing's great.
The writing is great. And I feel like it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that episode because I was going to say the one that everybody always talks about of the show is Reverend Jim's driving test.
Yes. Like it's considered the 5th funniest scene in the history of television or something. I know. And if you ever watch it, make sure you notice that I'm literally digging a lead pencil into my hand. I still have a scar. I'm literally digging a pencil into my hand to keep from laughing.
So it was that funny. It was that funny in person.
Oh yeah, it was that funny in person. Yeah, and it could have just gone on and on. The genius of Christopher Lloyd is that he never let anybody rush him. So for a joke or anything, he always held his own time. We used to do this thing before the show would start. We'd call it an Italian run through because we'd do it speeding, like lightning fast. Mm-hmm. And the rest of us would be on 78 and he would still be on, he'd go from 33 to 45 rather than, what I'm referring to. He's so, he still, even speeded up, he's slower than everybody else, but fills every moment. And I'm such a fan.
Did you guys ever talk about doing a reboot or any sort of new version of it now?
Everybody talks about Tony's doing Who's the Boss reboot.
Yeah.
So he's doing that. Maybe a special or something. We've talked about it, but we've lost 2 members, so that's
yeah. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite role that you've done?
Well, they're all so different. I mean, I loved doing Chicago. I did 408 performances of Chicago. I did, I never even, I could figure out how many Annie Get Your Guns because I was just in it, for 8 months and 40 shows a week and all of that. Yeah. Never missed one. And that was great too. But I would have to say in all of everything I've ever done, the character that is most like me, and it's not so much that it's a favorite, but it's most like me, is the character of Belinda in Noises Off that I did as a movie. Oh yeah, because she knows what's going on with everybody, and she has an opinion about everything. And she has to save the day, and she's got this energy, and she's like, "You go there, you do that," and that's kind of I'm the swizzle stick, So it's like organizing and tracking for people. It's funny. My son, I was with my son, both sons, in Los Angeles, 3.5 months, my husband, my 2 sons, my brother, his 5-year-old daughter, his 7-year-old son, my niece and nephew. I've never cooked, cleaned, scrubbed, everything. And my son actually said, "Mom, you never stop moving. You never stop doing something." He said, "You're like liquid labor." And I said, "Dick, I knew you meant that as an insult, but that's such a compliment. Thank you." So liquid labor. And that's what Belinda's like, liquid labor.
Yeah. Noises Off is never not funny to me. It's always hysterical every time I watch it.
It's so great. I mean, the thing is that I think it didn't quite work as a movie because there's something in your seat and watching, the 2 stories rather than the camera telling you where to look. But it was still such a great experience to work with Michael Caine and Carol Burnett and one of John Ritter's last things and Christopher Reeves. And they were together, and it was great. It was like a master class. It was so wonderful.
When you and the Taxi cast hang out, is it like old times? Are you able to get back into it like that?
Like we saw each other last week. It's same energies, same jokes. I mean, same this one tortures this one comments. Yeah, totally. It's golden. It really is.
Oh, that's so nice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's wonderful. It's really a family, really a family. Yeah.
Do you have? Well, no, I'll come back to that. But I want to. So you're shooting your 14th.
We shot it. We might come back and do number 15. We're going to do up through at least 20, possibly 25 of these. People love them, and it's first of all, Hallmark's a great company to work with and for, and they love it. And we're like the number 1 murders and mysteries, and it's all family friendly. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I've said it now in a couple of interviews that in a Hallmark murder and mystery, you get to say murder or kill 5 times. So when you read the script, you say "Oh, I got a murder. Oh, I got a."
That's so interesting. I had no idea.
And you never, ever, ever, ever see someone being killed. It's always after the killing, and the blood is usually on the weapon, or it's in the pool, or whatever. And it's not, you're not seeing somebody killed.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you can watch it with kids. You really can. Yeah.
What is it like to play the same character in 14 different movies? I was going to ask if you get tired of it, but then you did a long run in Taxi playing the same character, so I would imagine it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's different. Well, I mean, with this, we only do like 3 a year. We were supposed to do 4 in the first 6 months this year, and we only got to do 2 in 8 months. But it's such a fun character to play because I'm very bossy and I'm always, dressed fabulously and stuff. So it's kind of fun to play her. And, sometimes I will say something outrageous in the makeup room or on set, and I'll say, no, it's not me. It's Aida. Aida, my character is talking. That kind of thing. So, yeah.
Do you have theater roles, like theater bucket list roles that you want to do, or like shows that you want to do?
Okay, so in my family, I'm the mother of 2 boys, but everybody hangs out at my house. Everyone comes to my house, and over Christmas, all the kids stay Camp Auntie Lou. That's what all the kids call me, Auntie Lou. And I cook and I do all the stuff because I love to do it. So I've always wanted to play a character like Mame, who has my energy. And I've also always wanted to play Mama Rose and Neil Simon told me I should play Mama Rose. It's a character that I think would really suit kind of like the fire and passion that I have, pushing other people, but also trying to help myself at the same time. I just always felt like those would be 2 great roles for me to play. The classic, I love all the classic things that we got to do, even as kids and stuff. One of my first theatrical experiences was my sister playing Anna in The King and I was the 9-year-old little girl.
Oh, fun.
Princess Ying Yaolak, who does the little letter at the, deathbed and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, so I love all the classic roles and ones. I mean, I loved Chicago, so I was really excited. And Annie Gets Your Gun, so I was really excited.
I love Annie Get Your Gun.
Oh,
I love that.
Oh my gosh. And I've learned so much about singing since then. So I want to do that one definitely over again.
Yeah. Do you, so you're about to go to Victoria to shoot another thing?
Yes. And it's a very different character for me. It takes place in 1962. So it's period work, which I love, but she's horrible. She's like the most horrible character I've ever played. A total imperious, angry, and edge, just so not like me. I'm like a real middle child swizzle stick fun person. She's horrible. I mean, it's hard to find a redeeming quality in her. So I've made up a whole backstory because it's not in the novel. I read the novel, and it's based on a V.C. Andrews novel called.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's
awesome.
Really cool.
Marilu, thank you for your time. I'm glad you're busy.
Oh, thanks. Well, in the best case, everybody would say everyone should stay safe. It's always so great to talk to you, and I can't wait.
You too. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, I know.
Next time in person, hopefully.
That's too long.
I know. Come back to Broadway. We'll do this more.
I know. I want to come back. Listen, we're going to both put it in the universe. I want to come back to Broadway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marilu, thank you for your time, as always. It's lovely to talk.
Okay.
You too.
And
bye.
Bye.
Bye.